What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So I always do one of these videos whenever there's a new PTR change, and basically now that we have a release date on the next patch 10.07, they put patch 10.1 on the PTR. So a lot of this information is really fresh, a couple of hours old, and you can expect there to be a lot of news coming even just within the next couple of hours of this upload. So if there's anything significant, I'm definitely going to feature that in a video. But in today's video, I'm going to feature some of the things that I find interesting that we know about the patch so far. And I always try to scavenge through all the data mining to see if there's some kind of way how I can profit off of it, like make it gold. Is there like a new secret mount that needs certain materials? Is there anything changing to professions that it will allow me to invest in some items? And much more. So as soon as I find out about that kind of stuff, I'm going to keep you guys posted. But like some of the really cool stuff that will not directly implement gold farming, but it's going to make your life easier, is something that I saw on Twitter from Mr. GM. And that being that you no longer need to do like the Battle of Azeroth pathfinding in order to fly in BFA. So if you guys have like fresh accounts or you're never bothered really to do like any BFA content and you haven't unlocked flying in BFA, everyone can now fly in BFA. So this is a great change. I absolutely love them doing that because everyone knows how much of a hassle it is to walk back to the old content and do sometimes weeks of grinding to unlock flying in a zone that not really a lot of people spend time in. But like BFA, there's a couple of gold farms that we do in BFA, like all of the BFA mounts, for instance. You need to go over to a bunch of the dungeons in order to get like the speed set for your farming toon. So absolutely great change that I know that a lot of you guys will appreciate. Another thing that's really interesting is the fact that I also saw that on Mr. GM, is that they removed the Primal Chaos, the crafting regent to craft in Shadowlands. It's depleted. It's kind of like the potion of luck in the Pandaria. It's no longer needed to craft any items, and that's together with the spark. Like you can see some examples right here with the flame touch chain. Like still need all the shadowless materials, but you don't need a spark and you don't need the primal chaos in order to craft it. So I expect that. Well, I mean, it's hard to say how it's going to hit the market, right? But you can easily gear up alts. You just buy these materials. You obviously still need to like you can still apply the optional regents, right? Increasing item level and such, but you're no longer limited to sparks and primal chaos, which is absolutely great. Beautiful change. Something else that we've seen and that you guys probably already know about is the tier sets, the new tier sets that are out in the game. I'm not going to talk too much about these because I'm going to leave these links down below in the description. But I think that a lot of sets are really badass. I especially like this warrior one, so I might have to bring my next Mythic Plus toon to be a war, just to look like this bad boy. It's really cool. I really like some of these sets as well. So I really like the step that Blizzard is going into with the tier sets. They're badass. Like the priest set is insane, and the paladin set kind of looks like something that I could have made in paint. So not too impressed by that. Another thing that's going to involve around what could evolve around gold making is these battle pets. Well, they're called baby creatures, right? But let's face it, they're definitely battle pets. So there's a bunch of these that's been data mined in the patch 10.0. But however, there's no information or confirmation that these are in fact battle pets or how you can obtain them. But something that I've talked about for an eternity, the latest expansions even, is my hopes of Blizzard kind of copying the way that they used to do battle pets, like back in Classic, where you could literally just grind mobs in different zones and get battle pets. Like that is completely dead, and it has been for ages, right? So back in Classic, there would be like zone-specific battle pets. Didn't matter which mob you killed in that zone, you had a chance at getting the battle pet. We're talking like Black Tabby Cat, right, from Old Hillsbrad. We're talking the Asher Whelpling, for instance, and there's also like the STV Parrot and the Hatch. Like there was a bunch of them, and it was really, really cool because the collectors, they loved it. The average dude just playing the game, getting a random battle pet, I mean, he loved it. And then the gold farmers, they also really liked it. So it would be really cool if they could implement something like that in Dragonflight, and I really hope that they will. Even mob specific, which also exists in a lot of expansion, TBC as well, where you kill the fireflies and get the captured firefly. You could kill the noxious whelplings and get battle pets. Like there's a ton of examples of just great collectible items that had a really clear path on how to farm them. So hopefully, imagine if you could kill blue dragons in all of Dragonflight and you would get this one. And the same thing goes for all of these dragons down here. Same thing with elementals. They could drop, like each elemental would drop from a different type of elemental. And the Hornswag as well, that could drop from random Hornswags. And just keep on going like that. Like that would be really cool. I'm not sure if Blizzard can be ours to deal with that though. But I would really want that to happen. There's also a couple of mounts. This one, a new Lizard mount. Let's face it. Yes, it's like Wowhead is saying in the title. Likely Dragonflight Season 2 Keystone mount. Of course it is. I'm not a big fan of this. Like, it looks exactly like this one. The Season 1 Keystone mount. It's just a reskin of Season 1 mount. And it feels... I'm not sure if you guys agree, but I definitely think that it feels wrong getting a ground mount that you cannot fly, you cannot use dragon riding with. Like, why wouldn't they just give us like a KSM skin to one of our dragon riding mounts, right? That would make sense. It's current content. You're always dragon riding anyways. In dungeons, like Knockut, for instance, you're using your mount. It would just be way cooler to get like a badass skin for one of your dragon riding mounts, or all of them. Doesn't really matter whenever you become the Keystone Master, because if we're gonna have each season just a recolor of this, I mean, don't get me wrong, this by itself is a really cool mount. I really like it. It's just it's not that cool getting reskins. Alright, and then there's another one. This bad boy, new Crystal Snail Mountain patch 10.0, Embers of Neltharion. But like this one, all we know that it's a quest that's called Snailed It in the Zone, the Saralak Cavern. So there's also a lot of different models for this one. But it could be like the Magma. I'm not sure what the quest is all about, like the Snailed It quest. But it could be like the Magma Shell, right? Where you need to farm an item, hand in items, get the mount. Like that's the quest. Like you could see with the like there's 2 mounts like that, right? At least 2 mounts like that. You have the meats that you need to farm in the Azure Span for the flying clown, and then you have the Magma Shell that you can farm to get the snail mount. So that would be really cool. You guys know me. I like to make gold. So hopefully it's going to be something in that direction. Also something that I really don't care about, but it's considered big changes, and I see a lot of people talk about it on Twitter, is major PvP changes, right? And it is fairly big. They're basically tired of people complaining about crowd control being an issue. So they have, I'm going to leave this link down below if you want to go into details, but roughly they have literally just nerfed every single CC in PvP. They last way less. So reduced the amount of time you'll get CC'd by a ton. They also nerfed the Gladiator's Distinction, right? That used to give 10% cooldown reduction to now 5%. So they want less crowd controlling in PvP. Something that I've already receiving questions about, though, is the state of Druids in the patch 10.0. And they have, I mean, a lot of this stuff is subject to change, and it definitely will change a couple of times before it makes it to live. But they have done some really big changes to Druid's balance, especially with some key points like Stellar Flare, Eclipse, and how it triggers. They've done some changes to the current set bonus. But in terms of gold making, which is what I care the most about, I really like a couple of the changes. Like, I don't really care if shooting stars can no longer be triggered by stellar flare, right? Like, they will probably see less DPS going in raids and Mythic Plus. But I do really like this change. Moonfire and Sunfire generate 6 astral power. It used to be 2. Now, for gold farmers, especially a lot of the people that are new to gold farming, when they join under Balanced Druid, because Balanced Druid is BIS, uh, your biggest issue is maintaining Starfall. Like, a lot of people struggle to maintain Starfall. So when Mia and a bunch of other dudes are doing like 40, 50,000 DPS in a gold farm, you have people doing 15. Okay. And they're usually doing the exact same thing, which is just using Moonfire and Sunfire, but they're not using their cooldowns and abilities correctly to generate Astral to constantly keep up Starfall and stacking Starfall because it stacks now, right? So this change will just make it way easier for your average gold farmer to keep Starfall up. Like, the mobs are dying fast anyways, so you don't really need Starfall to deal a shit ton of damage, right? You need Starfall active on all 8 people in the 2x4, so every groups from both people from both groups can tag all the mobs. So I really do like that change, and I'm gonna have to play the Druid on the PTR to tell how it's gonna feel like all the other changes. But like, to me, I'm not worried about any of these changes, and there's absolutely nothing within the balance changes that we've seen so far or the feral changes that's going to change the fact that Druid is the overall best class for gold making. So I'm not worried at all. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of really interesting things popping up in the next couple of hours, days, weeks leading to patch 10.1. So I'm going to do my absolute best to keep you guys posted. And of course, if you guys haven't picked up the 0 to 10 million gold guide yet, make sure to use the code Dragonflight and you'll get it for 50% off. And if you already have the book and you like it, which is really cool, then you guys will definitely also like the VIP Discord, which works pretty much like a Patreon, but it's really easy to follow along because everything happens on the Discord, where I upload all of my YouTube videos before, on the Discord before they go live on YouTube. I also have a lot of exclusive content that you can only access if you're on the VIP Discord. We're talking about like investments before patches like this one. We have like gold tips and spreadsheets and a bunch of other cool stuff. So make sure to check that out. Link down below with the gold guide. That's pretty much it though. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all back in at the next video. But until then, bye bye.